I'm in this vacuous, self-sabotaging state right now where I just feel fucking, where I'm just fucking pitying myself, and I'm just feeling very lonely, just feeling like on my own, and just nobody gives a fuck. You know, when I tend to put on these videos, I'm just putting on a fucking facade. I'm just putting on a front. I shelter my mind and I try to just act like I don't give a fuck, and well, I'm on my own anyway, so what's the point? Like, but deep down, I give a fuck. I want someone. I just want what everybody else has. But I feel like I'm fighting this fucking loneliness of people not really giving a fuck, and I'm starting to question whether people really gave a fuck as much as I thought they did. Like, I don't really think that anybody really gives a fuck about me personally, deep on a deep level. My life is just full of fucking abundance and wallowing and empty chairs and nobody to really talk to, and not properly. And I don't know what to do because I just can't do this no more. I just want to end it all. I just want to fucking go. I want to just fucking. Oh, I just want to finish. I just want to exit this world because nobody cares about my presence anyway. Nobody really cares about me on a deep level. I've never felt that support. I've never felt like I've been in some sort of network like anybody else, like everyone else. I've never felt like it's just felt like me. I have to be my own everything, and I just can't. It feels like too much. It's like I'm on my own 24/7, and right now I'm not in work, and I don't even know if I can mentally go back into a normal workplace because I've been so used to just being on my own and just being in solitude and just fucking hearing myself think all the time and just fucking imploding from the inside and overthinking stuff. It's kind of like just like I don't know if I can handle just being in a workplace because it's like I'll still be in my own head too much. I'll still feel like everybody's watching me, and I've last year, end of the year, 2025 December, I briefly went back into work, and I felt like I had no escape route, and everybody was just watching me, and it was just people that didn't want to be around, and just like I don't like I just didn't like them types of people, and like I know that beggars can't be choosers, but I really just I can't deal with being in a clustered environment full of people who just mess about and just they don't respect your boundaries, and I really just want to fucking I'm so sick of just fucking waiting and feeling like when is it my turn? When is it my fucking turn to have to have everything what everybody else has? Why can't I just fucking find my group and just be able to just chill and find the right career, and but it seems like honestly it feels like that fucking Metallica song, The Day That Never Comes. Like, I've listened to that song so many times and I've just related on a deep level to that song, The Day That Never Comes, and Fade to Black, and fucking. There's another one I forgot what it's called, but it just feels like maybe part of that song that The Day That Never Comes, maybe like it's meant to be for some certain people who just resonate with waiting and waiting, and they realise that they've just got to fucking get to work and just work on themselves and stop waiting around on other people and society and anyone else because I understand I realise that nobody really gives a fuck about me. Nobody's really thinking about me and, you know, asking, is Jack all right? Oh, I hope he's doing well. You know, nobody's really like sat. Nobody's really sitting down or before they go to sleep, just wondering how I'm doing, how my fucking mental state is, and my emotional state. Nobody really fucking cares. And you know, even this channel, like, it's not really a big channel, and I don't really get that many viewers. Not many people really gives a fuck, and you know, and you'll probably just watch this video and you don't care, and you just turn it off after like 2 minutes of me talking or something. I don't know. You know, I don't really get that many viewers. I don't get that many support. I don't get anything, like, you know, and I'm just so sick of this. Like, I just feel as though maybe this is how it's meant to be. Maybe there's people in life who are born just to people not to give a fuck about. Maybe I'm one of those types of people that I'm not. Maybe I'm not meant to be given a fuck about. Maybe I'm not meant to have everything what everyone else has. Maybe I'm just supposed to find life a bit more difficult and find a way, you know, and just, you know, maybe it's supposed to be a solo thing. And you know, even if I do find a way to be happy, I don't think I fully find a way to be fully happy. Like, I don't feel like I'll get the full package of, you know, the fucking status, the, you know, the network of people that, you know, and fucking a woman or whatever, and you know, I don't feel like I'll get the full package of what comes with happiness, that stability of just having connections with people, you know. You know, so sometimes I've like even looked up like how my brother gets all these good relations with people, and I'm like so fucking envious and jealous because, you know, I don't. When I look at myself, I don't feel like I'm a bad person. I don't go out and fucking disrespect people. I don't. You know, I just. I maybe that's. But maybe I'm doing it wrong or something. Maybe I'm supposed to be fucking a disrespectful, arrogant fucking cunt and just be like very loud or something because that's how it seems to work. You got to be fucking. You've got to be the loudest person in the room, and then you'll get noticed. Fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. You know, I keep myself distracted as much. Like, I started playing chess and I've started like just working out and running and stuff and keeping my mind active, doing some coursework, and you know, like, people think that, oh well, I must be doing good and I must be, you know, enjoying this course I'm on, and but I just know that like they don't really care, you know, like it's something that they have to like it's just like a job to them. It's like, you know, like our fucking a prison guard has to check in on a fucking prison cell on a prisoner inmate now and again. Like, we have to do just checkups and, you know, just check up on the prisoner's welfare and whatnot. But deep down, I don't really think that anybody gives a fuck what I'm doing, what kind of job I want to go into, what kind of transition I want my life to be, and how I see myself and how I see my life. And I don't really think anybody really gives a fuck. Like, maybe I'm wrong for even thinking that people should give a fuck. You know, this is the way how we've kind of been taught. Like, we just feel like there should be some sort of community there where at least like you've got one person checking up on you and someone who cares and is in your corner all the time. Like, you know, and for the people who say, well, you don't need social, you know, you don't need a network, you don't need people to do good, you can just do it all by yourself, and you know, you can do it all personally by yourself and without anyone. Yeah, but it takes a toll. Like it takes a toll because it's been a long fucking time since I've felt genuine affection from anybody. If anybody really gives a fuck, and it does play a role. You know, like it plays a role in your mental health, and when you've got nobody really there to like, kind of ping with, when they're your pong, when you've got no back and forth, it's like you're going insane. It's like you're in a fucking insane asylum and you're just talking to yourself and you've got to fucking find ways to socialise online or something, or invent somebody who doesn't even exist, like fucking, like our Truth would when he, his character, like Little Jimmy, that fucking Little Jimmy character. I don't know what to do anymore. I really don't, because I just feel like I look internally, I look externally. Nobody gives a fuck anyway. Like nobody from the inside, from my internal network of people, from like friends who from like school, and some friends who I'm not friends with everyone. Like I've lost a lot, but I've lost a lot of friends. And I don't have that many. And I kind of just like, things aren't going well with me right now socially, and just, at times I don't really think that family really gives a fuck. They're just doing their own thing. It's like after so long, they just discard you, and they don't really want to get to the root of your problems. They don't want to get to the actual root of why you are how you are. They just kind of like, oh well, that's his thing, you know. He has to figure things out by himself now. Is X Y Z age, and I may fucking just focus on your age, and they discard everything else. They discard that you're just a human being, and you've got this kind of like unsettled, unreleased sort of trauma and these problems, and it's like your age is just a fucking. It solves everything. Oh well, when you get older, you should just this, that, and other, and X, Y, Z, and you should have everything. You should have everything together. You should be able to manage your own fucking emotional well-being by now. Stop fucking attention seeking. That's how it feels most of the time, when it's like you're trying to find a fucking place in this world. You're trying to find someone. You're just trying to fucking find somebody who gives a fucking flying fuck. But it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's just like, maybe it's socially acceptable to be like this in your child phase, in your teenagehood or something. But when you get into your adult phase, when you get into your 20s and your mid 20s or your late 20s, it's like, well, you should just strap up, just man up. And it's so fucking annoying, because my mum used to say that to me. Well, you're 16 now, Jack, or whatever age. But it just really just makes you feel like a pawn. Really, it just makes you feel like, just so disconnected. Makes you feel like everybody just wants to disconnect from you. Like you kind of just wonder if the problem is you or if it's everybody else, and you don't really know what to think. You don't know if the problem is you, and or if it's everybody else who has a problem with you. I don't know whether me just being me is a problem. I didn't have a fucking role model. I didn't have a fucking strong father figure. I didn't have any of that. And I'm not like everybody else. I might I might get very emotional and too inside my own head, is inside my head too much. I feel like I'm more of an empath, but I just can't do life like everybody else. I just can't just turn off my feelings and just turn off what's going off around me. And I am an emotional person, and if that fucking if me crying doesn't make me a man, well, so be it. Because I have had so many times when I've just fucking cried. I've cried when I've just felt like everything's going okay, but something just ends up popping into my brain and I just cry. I've cried watching videos, sad videos. I've cried in the middle of a fucking town centre in a cafe before because I've just had a fucking breakdown. Nothing's going right, nobody cares. I've cried a lot. And I don't really care. I don't really care if it's not appealing to anybody else. You can't discard fucking men as non-feeling sentient beings who have emotions and can get sad. Like, that's stupid to think that we just have to bottle up emotions and not cry and just fucking be a man. But I don't know what to do. Every day feels really fast, and it feels like time's just going by so quickly, and I'm just left in fucking middle, and I'm still trying to figure myself out. But I realise that the clock's ticking, and nobody really cares if I do or don't. Like, let's get that one thing out of the way. Like, nobody cares if I make something of myself anyway, or if I do, there'll be a lot of people who would be like, "Oh, I knew you could do that," and then there'll be a lot of people coming back in like, "You didn't fucking discard me in my worst." I understand. The one good thing about being alone a lot is you realise you pick up on emotion, you pick up on human behaviour and how they actually are, and on a deep level, and I understand, and I realise that the only way I would get attention is if I start to have something about myself that nobody has, or they've lost, and they want to steal some energy off me. They want to use me as a fucking stepping stone. So I'm not stupid. Like, on a social level, I can pride myself and be awake and pick up on the fact that people are just very fucking cunning and naive, and they'll say one thing and mean another. And it's like in San Andreas, right? In San Andreas, when Big Smoke and I think it's Ryder, CJ and CJ and this other gang member thought that they was all together at one point, but then like fucking Big Smoke and Ryder, or I think it's Ryder, I don't know, but we ended up like betraying the gang, and we ended up just fucking joining the Ballers, betraying Grove Street. It's like there's indicators everywhere. It doesn't have to be a game. It's just everywhere in life. There's always indicators that lead you to a path, to go down this path where nobody wants to go down, and it's hard, and you're gonna not be as socially important, but it's the real world. It's actually how the real world is, but everybody likes to fucking be in this fake placid just plastic world where that their goal is to seek social validation, You know, they want the status. You know, they're so fucking high up in their ego. And I just realised that maybe in order for me to be happy and actually live how I want to be, is I've got to go down a completely different path to everybody else. Go dark, shut off from everybody else, fucking delete my social media accounts, just develop a different mindset and just start to work for myself from the inside, and actually just start to just be like, you know what, it's okay to be somebody else. Like, you don't play in this character, you was never meant to be this person. Maybe you should just be this person instead now. Just, you know, like a video game, like when you've got characters, but some characters are better than others. Just by the default of the game, just by the how the game is made, different characters perform better than others. And that's true. It's like you've got the fucking Chads, you know, the Chads, and like we've all fucking been around Chads, and we've all been to secondary school, and we've all been through college and workplaces. There's always been fucking arrogant, narcissistic, egotistical Chads who get all the fucking status of everybody liking them, the women, the fucking male friends, and because you know they're just this certain character where people can just like all this fucking, you know, this arrogance. They like this arrogance and being plastic and just having a different kind of, you know, anything but real, anything but fucking authentic. But they'll do so many things to please the masses. They do so many things to please other people, to make sure that they're still at the top, whilst everybody's fucking supposedly at the bottom. You'll just step on anybody. And this has always been life. This has always been how it's meant to be. You know, the game isn't fair. You know, like, there's always been fucking people who try and fucking up themselves, and they try to get everything, but they don't really fucking care about anybody else. As they're climbing the way up, you know, they'll bully other people, they'll try to impress the girls, and you know, just by insulting somebody and making them feel small. They'll pull everything out of the fucking playbook. You know, and I think sometimes you have to go through all this to realise what the world is actually like, you know, and school kind of prepares you for life in some degree, because the format of school and college never changes when you're outside of school and college. The format is still the same. There's always that social group. There's always hierarchy. You know, just because you've left school doesn't mean that there's no hierarchy anymore, or on a social fucking benign kind of level where everybody likes this separation of different classes. Everybody likes to put everybody in boxes. You know, it's like you've got the fucking nerds, and you've got the jocks, and you've got the emo kids, the metalheads, and you know, and then just the people who just are the outsiders, don't fit in. You know, I've always felt like an outsider, but I've felt like an outsider of the outsiders. Like I don't even feel like I fit into a fucking category. I don't even feel like I fit in anywhere. I feel like I'm just me, and unfortunately, me just being me it's never been enough for anybody. It's never been enough to really fit in anywhere and have that kind of status, or women or anything like that. It's never been enough, you know, or you know, kind of like even from like validation from my family. Like I've never felt like it's enough for me just to be me. Like I've always had to fucking play a different role. I've always had to play a different character just to be liked, you know. And all that attention that maybe I did get in school and college, it's never just been me being authentic. It's been me having to be somebody I'm not and fit into a certain fucking clique or something, or to a certain demographic of people. But I'm starting to wonder, like, is it even worth it? Is it even fucking worth it? Like, just to even fit in to people? Anyway, is me selling my fucking soul and be like, you know what? It's okay. I'll just be like you now. I'll be like everybody else. Is it even fucking worth it? Is me being somebody I'm not even worth the reward? Because from where I'm sitting, it doesn't feel like it is. Because I see the same fucking cycle or the fucking pattern. Like, there's a reason why I was more on the outside in school. I was more just looking behind the glass, just the fucking freak show. Because I'd see the same cycle of men going after women, them getting angry and fighting other men because fucking XYZ, Charlotte told fucking John rumours about Levi, and now Levi's angry about, so and so. So it becomes this fucking testosterone fest of just fucking men, men fighting each other and getting into fucking arguments and into heated rows and just over fucking women. Like the whole, most of the social construct of why people even just, talk to anybody. It's not. It's mostly because of fucking some kind of social gain, some kind of status. It's always been something that somebody wants. So we have to. So we feel like, well, if I just speak to the boss's son, I'll be able to just get into this job or something. If I just, suck up to the boss's son, and throughout the entirety of life, right? Other people don't. I've never seen others as equal to them. The social construct and how the system is set up in a way where, Bob will only speak to Dylan, or fucking John will only speak to Tim if he has something. If Tim has something that John doesn't, then John will try so much to fucking to suck his cock and kiss his ass, and throughout the entirety of time, it's always been you have something that they don't, and they want that, so they're going to pretend to be your friend. This is the whole construct and system of society. It's most people who choose to be alone and have nobody are usually quite wise, because they realise they've woken up to the fact that most men who befriend other men, they don't want, like I said before, most men don't see themselves, like the use other men, or they'll speak to women just for the status. It's like, imagine having David Beckham. Excuse me. Imagine having David Beckham as your friend. Now, how many people would only like David Beckham as a friend on a superficial level, where he'd be like, look at me guys, David Beckham's my friend and he's not your friend, and you should speak to me now because I'm friends with a fucking famous retired footballer. Like, that's how most people are. They just want to use other people, and if you are associated with somebody with high status, then it's like you want that secondhand smoke. You want that secondhand effect on how it feels. So most people are mostly with somebody because of that other person. You know, when I've witnessed it and I felt like I've been through it before. And just the way how the system is set up, the social ladder, just even the work system, even going into work, it's not fair because there's always going to be some fucking corrupt boss, some corrupt manager that doesn't see your hard work and promotes the wrong person because, you know, maybe he just likes that person on a personal level more than you, you know, or, you know, you never fucking try to make conversation, you just want to work. Or because you're friends with, you know, the boss's son, you know, like I've said before, or, you know, your boss is your mum, simply like that, you know, like family. So it's never meant to be fair. No system in life, it does, you know, no form of life is meant to be fair. You know, fucking work life, social life, personal life, like, because in order to have a good personal life, you know, the contributing factors, you know, are things like the work life, the social life, because we're human beings, you know, like we all have, you know, we all have minds, we all have feelings, and we all have emotional, you know, we all have our emotional well-being, our mental well-being, and it's kind of like the only way to actually have some kind of win is to suck up and just be like, well, I'm going to be like everybody else. I'm not going to be myself. I'm not going to be my authentic self. I'm going to suck up to everybody else. And I fucking refuse. I refuse to ever suck up to anybody or be somebody I'm not. You know, because I want all the control. I want all the control in my life. I don't have many male friends, and to be honest, it's not necessarily a bad thing because I simply don't fit the demographic. I don't fit the mold. I don't fit the mold of, you know, the systemic male culture society. I don't fit the mold. I don't, you know, I just don't mix well. There's there's connections that I just long for from people that I can just talk to them on a deep level, on a deep spiritual, emotional level, where where it feels like you've always been friends in some life or whatever. It feels like I want that kind of relationship with somebody that we was meant to be friends. You know, like we was always meant to just meet. You know, like they've known me for like 10 years or something. So it's not that I necessarily want to be alone, but I want an actual, I want an integral, strong, meaningful chemistry with somebody. I want a meaningful friendship, you know, relationship with someone. And I don't know where to fit in. I don't. Bye.